Hey everyone, it's John Penton with your Canadian real estate update for the middle of December. This is the most important video I have to share with everyone today out of the last 6 months, even possibly the whole year. I've been predicting for the last 2 to 3 months a sentiment shift that will be occurring shortly, and it actually happened yesterday. The Federal Reserve pivoted in terms of their terminology on how they foresee interest rate hikes occurring over the next 6 months to a year. Essentially, the rate hikes are over. They are actually predicting up to three rate cuts for 2024. So for the past 2 years, the Federal Reserve and the Bank of Canada have been raising the rates to tame inflation. And the Federal Reserve yesterday, Jerome Powell, chair, said that they are content with the way inflation is going, and with the economy slowing, they want to stimulate the economy again, and that's going to happen next year. So if you've been on the sidelines the past 6 months hoping for interest rates to come down, well, they're going to start coming down faster than a lot of people have been predicting. And just even my last YouTube video last week, I was saying expect rates to come down faster than predicted. And even the Federal Reserve, or not the Federal Reserve, the chief economist from KPMG, Diane Swank, said the Fed will cut sooner rather than later, pending the economic data will keep coming out the way it has been. So economic data has been soft, and we're going into a soft landing here. I don't think it's going to be a full-fledged recession, and so this is good for everyone. Most people won't lose their jobs, and interest rates are starting to come down rapidly, especially in the last couple of weeks. The bond yields have been tanking, and the stock market's been going up, and so it's actually exciting times for people that are homeowners. There's been a lot of worried people that own a house because they have to go renew their mortgage in the next 2 years. A lot of people just in 2024 will have to renew their mortgage, and most homeowners locked in for a 5-year fixed rate around 3%, maybe 4%. And right now we're at 6%, 6.5 at all the top banks in Canada. But there is a lot of hope on the horizon, because by next week there'll be a lot of new opportunities where several mortgage brokers will be offering 5-year fixed rates below 5% again for uninsured mortgages or insured mortgages. And uninsured, it'll be probably down around 5.5%. I'm seeing at one bank's already down below 6% at Coast Capital at 5.99 for an uninsured mortgage. And so there's a lot of optimism now that's immediately come to the market. And the markets are predicting the first rate cut to occur on in March sometime with the Federal Reserve. And I predict the Bank of Canada will be a couple weeks sooner in the early weeks of March. So if you have been waiting for interest rates to come down to around the 5% range, well, they are starting to come down. You can already get 4.99% insured mortgage with a lender in Canada here, which I'm happy to refer you to. So basically, this is the most exciting video of the whole year, because there's been a lot of negativity about interest rates staying higher for longer, and a lot of people renewing their mortgages next year, and they didn't know if they'll be able to renew because the rates are going to be so high. So these rates coming down dramatically with the advent of the forecast from the Federal Reserve reducing the overnight rate is just incredible news. It's an early Christmas present for a lot of people, especially ones that are on a variable rate mortgage. You're going to see your payments going down next year when the rate cuts start happening. So there's going to be a lot of bullish optimism for the housing market again, where it's been in a lull in the last 4 to 6 months. And I've been telling all my homeowners, sellers that want to sell the last few months, just hold off if you can, because we're going to see a resurgence in buyer optimism and sales. We're at 25-year lows in terms of house sales in Vancouver and in Toronto. It's a little better out in Calgary, but people that have been waiting, they're going to see a huge return on waiting if they sell next year. And so in my personal opinion, I think middle February to middle March will be the optimal time to sell. I think it'll be the best time. We're going to see multiple offers again for detached houses in downtown or inner city Toronto, inner city Vancouver, with rates coming down around 5%. And this, I think it's going to be deja vu all over again. come February, March, as what happened in early 2023, where we saw interest rates at 5%. No one thought the prices would go up. And what happened? We saw multiple offers. There was not enough homes for sale. Inventory was low. Interest rates were at 5%. And people started buying again. And so once we get down to that 4.9 to 5.1 interest rate threshold for the 5-year fixed rate, it's going to be off to the races again for starter homes, or just a home in general, anything under $2 million, 1.3 to 1.8 million especially. But even in East Vancouver, homes that are asking 1.8 to 2 million, you're going to see the buyers come out very quickly. There's going to be a huge surge of buyers that are already pre-approved. I already have several buyers that have been waiting for the rates to come down. They want to know this rate hiking cycle is finished, complete. So there's been a lot of buyers that I know have been approved already the last few months, but they've been waiting for this shift by the Federal Reserve and Bank of Canada to acknowledge that the rate hikes are over. People want certainty, and the certainty has been not certain for the last 6 months to a year. But the Fed has pivoted, and so this is very encouraging news if you are a buyer looking for lower rates, and also if you're a home seller looking to cash in next year and sell your house off and do whatever you need to do, because there's been a lot of people on the sidelines just waiting, seeing where things go. And yeah, but in terms of what's really going on in terms of the local real estate industry here in Vancouver, it's been slow. Sales are at 33% lows, below the 10-year average, so it's not good in terms of sale volume. However, prices are actually not too bad. There's still some communities that are actually seeing price increases, especially for condos in one certain area, which I'll touch upon shortly here in the video. But I just kind of want to go over some stats which just came out for the month of November and kind of show you how it's not nearly as bad as I predicted. And so I'm wrong there, but I did predict that we would see a massive sentiment shift come December, January, and it's starting right now. So I'm quite happy with myself that I got this right. And going forward, I am predicting multiple offers very quickly in February and March with the advent of these rate cuts coming and these 5-year fixed rates that will be coming down. So in my opinion, I think you have until end of January, the next 5-6 weeks, to go in and make an offer and hopefully not have to deal with any competition from buyers, because the market is very, very slow right now. But with these rate drops coming down next week, down to 5%, 5.5%, we're going to see a huge surge in optimism from buyers and homeowners as well. So don't expect to get a huge discount off detached property and townhomes even coming into the winter of January and February, since the optimism has shifted with the rate cuts coming and the optimism or the opportunity of rate hikes going away very quickly here. But anyways, just want to touch upon the stats for the Vancouver Real Estate Board in November. In Tsawwassen, there was a 1.1% increase for detached homes. This was the only actually positive increase for detached homes. Most were in the negatives. Nothing crazy though. -1%, -2%, -3% was common for November. Overall, in general, it was a -1% decrease. For the month of November. So nothing alarming. A lot of people were thinking that they could get huge amounts of money off homes in November, myself included, and it did happen for some properties, but in general, not a mass scale. There's not huge sell-offs, and a lot of people thinking that there's going to be a lot of people having to sell off their houses next year with these high interest rates, not being able to get approved for a new mortgage. Well, with these rates dramatically coming down this week, it's not going to happen. People will definitely be able to get by with rates in the 4% range, and yeah, don't expect any deals coming into next year. The only deals left over will be in the next 4 to 5 weeks here. So get out there if you want to save $50,000, $100,000 on your next home, because if you wait till March, April, you're going to probably be paying $100,000 more for a detached house in especially Vancouver, and even pockets outside of Vancouver will see huge optimism in buyers coming back out with these lower interest rates, which are going to make it more affordable. But at the same time, increase unaffordability as the prices will skyrocket once again, which will bring us to another video on how we can curb this demand. But anyways, coming back to the stats for Vancouver, Burnaby saw a minus 4% decrease for November. West Vancouver saw a minus 3%, 3.6% decrease, and Ladner saw a minus 3.1% decrease. For townhomes, only 0.6% increase for North Van. All the others were negative. Burnaby minus 2.5, Coquitlam minus 2%. The big surprise for November was condos in the Sea to Sky corridor. Whistler saw a 5.5% increase. Sunshine Coast saw a 4.8% increase, and Squamish saw a 5.1% increase. So that's basically it for today's video. Bond yields are plummeting. They're back to 2022 levels. The banks are not dropping the 5-year fixed rates as low as they should be. They've already come down 100 basis points from their highs around 4.4%. They're down to around 3.3 as I record this video today, or even a little below 3.3, 3.25. So it's down a lot. And so over the next 2 weeks, the rates will come down. People will be on holidays. So please share this with all your friends and family that have been thinking about purchasing a property. And also your homeowner, your friends that want to sell a house. It's going to be an optimal time to time it right when all these buyers come back to the market before all the people hear about the prices going up, and so people will flood the market with more listings, and that usually happens middle of March to middle of April. So you're going to want to be ahead of the curve, and let your friends know that it's better to sell before middle of March. Early February will be a good time to list on the market and take advantage of all these buyers that will be returning very shortly here with these interest rates coming down dramatically. And if you don't want to buy or sell, just great news if you want to renew your 5-year fixed mortgage. Hopefully you find this video before the holidays so you don't have a lot of stress thinking about renewing your mortgage, because there's a lot of people across Canada that have to renew, and a lot of people have been crunching the numbers, and it doesn't look good when you're renewing at a 6% rate versus a 3%. But by January, February, if we can come down to around 4.5%, it's going to help a lot of homeowners and reduce a lot of the stress. So please share this with anyone that owns a house, and like the video down below, and subscribe if you haven't done already. I hope you guys have a great holiday, and I'll see you in the new year. Thanks, and have a great day.